You guys get more frustrated than I do, to be honest. I mean, I'm pretty aware of what's going on. I've got a pretty good feel of what the heartbeat is in the clubhouse. And as I said before, you know, we're right now in the middle of trying to develop some guys and yet win at the same time. And we're asking some guys to be put in situations that are certainly asking a lot of them. So we'll get through it. We'll fight through it. We'll get back. You know, again, we're not happy with what's happened, but we've been in games. We've been in all the games.
Jim, how difficult is that balance? We already saw with Travis d'Arnaud, the Mets sending him back down to try and develop him, but to try and win now while also developing, how difficult is that?
It's a tough balance, and you're really trying to do both. If you can pull it off, and obviously the big part and the toughest decisions you have to make is when a young player struggles. What are the reasons for the struggles? Is it just that normal struggle that you see at the major league level, or is it something more where he's lost his confidence, or he's starting to be overmatched, where, you know, he just can't get a hit or he can't get an out if it's a pitcher or position player? And so that really you spend an awful lot of time having that conversation with your staff. What are you seeing even pregame? Are you seeing some signs of him coming out of it, or is he completely lost? You know, I think the organization got criticized by keeping Ike too long. So I think from that standpoint, what they did with d'Arnaud, I thought it was the right timing. They actually gave him 2 months, and he didn't produce.
Jim, we learned last night prior to the game that the Mets did hold a team meeting. Obviously, it didn't work out yesterday, but how do these team meetings come about generally, and what's usually said? You
know, those are tricky things because you can see when you have a player, a lot of times you have a players-only meeting, or you'll have a meeting that the manager puts together with the players, which is what it sounded like happened yesterday, and you're trying to emphasize the positive. When you're going through a streak like this, and right now let's take, for example, the hitting with runners in scoring position. There's a lot of negativity right now. They're not producing, so you're trying to stay positive, even though the players are being asked about it on a continual basis, and it becomes very, very loud, and there is a lot of negativity. So trying to stay positive. The problem was, now you have that lack of execution, like you're talking about last night. That's obviously a problem, but it doesn't mean you don't have the meeting. You need to kind of work through those things and continue to stay positive.
You mentioned trying to continue to stay positive, though, and it's, at least from my perspective, you have this team meeting, right, and you almost get all gung-ho, okay, this is the turning point, and then you come out and have, again, maybe your worst loss of the season. Right. How difficult is it to stay the course and make sure that that message doesn't get lost after last night?
No, there's no doubt. And I think really what it becomes on Terry, becomes with David, some of the veteran guys said, listen, we didn't execute it tonight. We still have 100 games left. The things that we talked about yesterday, they apply today, and they apply for the next week. And eventually you feel like if you can stay positive, you'll get out of it.